and welcome to It's Storytime Kids. Today we're going to read The Tiny Seed by Carle. Carle is the person who wrote The Very Hungry Caterpillar. So it's by the same author. If you think the pictures look familiar, it's because it's his style of art. The Tiny Seed. The Tiny Seed by Carle. Just trying to change the focus a little bit. I'll be dark, but hopefully that means you'll be able to see the words. Sorry kids, there's a lot of faffing, isn't there? It is autumn. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds high in the air and carries them far across the land. One of the seeds is tiny, smaller than any of the others. Will it be able to keep up with the others? And where are they all going? One of the seeds flies higher than the others. Up, up it goes. It flies too high, and the sun's hot rays burn it up. Oh no. But the tiny seed, there it is kids, sails on with the others. Another seed lands on a tall and icy mountain. The ice never melts and the seed cannot grow. The rest of the seeds fly on, but the tiny seed does not go as fast as the others. Can you see it? There he is. Bit behind, but still there. Now they fly over the ocean. One seed falls into the water and drowns. Oh, goodness. The others sail on with the wind, but the tiny seed does not go as high as the others. There we go. Seed fell into the ocean. I'm not sure it drowned. I think it probably got gobbled up by this fish, didn't it? Don't want to argue with the author. And this is the teeny tiny seed. All the other ones are up here. One seed drifts down onto the desert. It is hot and dry, and the seed cannot grow. Now the tiny seed is flying very low, but the wind pushes it on with the others. So there's the one that landed in the desert. Says it cannot grow. Don't give up hope yet, kids, right? Maybe that seed will get nibbled by an animal, and then the animal will poo out the seed and it will land somewhere else, and because it's now in poo it will be fertilized, and then maybe, even though it's the desert, maybe it will rain, and then maybe that seed will grow after all. Don't give up, seed. You could still grow. Seeds can often last for a long time, just waiting for the right conditions before they grow. So just because it's not growing right now doesn't mean it won't grow. Anyway, the little tiny seed is somewhere. Can we see it? There's the other ones, and it's barely flying. The word said it's flying very low, but the wind pushes it on with the others. I wonder if that's our tiny, teeny, tiny, 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 tiny seed. Still flying. Finally, the wind stops and the seed falls gently down to the ground. A bird comes by and eats one seed. The tiny seed is not eaten. It is so small that the bird cannot see it. Here you go. Bird's gobbling down a seed, and the tiny seed is just there with all the others. trying very hard not to be seen by the bird. Now it is winter. After their long trip, the seeds settle down. They look just as if they are going to sleep in the earth. Snow falls and covers them like a soft white blanket. A hungry mouse that also lives in the ground eats a seed for its lunch. But the tiny seed lies very still, and the mouse does not see it. Look at all that snow. There's a hungry mouse gobbling a seed. The tiny seed, I think must be that one, maybe that. The tiny seed is not seen and is not eaten. It just lies there waiting. Now it is spring, waiting for spring. After a few months, the snow has melted. It is really spring. Birds fly by, the sun shines, rain falls. The seeds grow so round and full, they start to burst open a little. Now they are not seeds anymore. They are plants. First, they send roots down into the ground. First, they send roots down into the earth. Then their little stems and leaves begin to grow up towards the sun and air. Roots, leaves, that's growing up and that bit's growing down. There is another plant that grows much faster than the new plants. It is a big fat weed, and it takes all the sunlight and the rain away from the new plants. And it takes all the sunlight and the rain from one of the small new plants. Oh, and that little plant dies. It just can't grow anymore. It doesn't make it. Oh, there. Big plant, little plant. I mean, what happens is he just kind of goes into the soil, right? And becomes part of the compost, part of the soil. And then it helps to feed all of the bugs and the microbes and the worms and all of that stuff in the soil. It just makes the earth more nutritious. So it's a bad thing it doesn't turn into a flower. But it's not the worst thing in the world because it helps add nutrition into the soil. The tiny seed hasn't begun to grow yet. It will be too late. Hurry! But finally, it too starts to grow into a plant. I guess it's this one because it's smaller than the others. The warm weather also brings the children out to play. They too have been waiting for the sun and springtime. One child doesn't see the plants as he runs along and oh, he breaks one. Now it cannot grow anymore. Well, we've all done that, haven't we? Whoops! Running around having too much fun and we squash a plant by mistake. It happens. The tiny plant that grew from the tiny seed is growing fast, but its neighbour grows even faster. Before the tiny plant has 3 leaves, the other plant has 7. 1, 2, 3 leaves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And look, a bud and now even a flower. But what is happening? First, there are footsteps. Then a shadow looms over them. Then a hand reaches down and breaks off the flower. Oh, a boy has picked the flower to give to a friend. Oh, well, that's sweet and wonderful. But we probably shouldn't be going around picking flowers. I don't know about where you live, but in England, where I live, a lot of the wildflowers are actually protected. You could get into trouble for just picking them randomly. protected by law, that is, like protected by the bylaws and the rules. It is summer. Now the tiny plant from the tiny seed is all alone. You're probably allowed to pick flowers from your garden if you're lucky enough to have a garden with flowers, but I suspect you should ask permission from, you know, your designated grown-up first, because some people get really into their gardening and really into growing their flowers, and they get really upset if you just randomly start picking them, even if you do it for the right reason, to give it as a gift to somebody that you care about. You should probably still ask permission first. Anyway, I digress. Here we go. We're now in summer. So we've had autumn, we've had winter, we've had spring, and now we're in summer. That's the 4 seasons of the year. The year is separated into chunks, and the chunks are called seasons. And now we're in summer. Now the tiny plant from the tiny seed is all alone. It grows on and on. It doesn't stop. The sun shines on it and the water rains, and the rain waters it. The water doesn't rain it, the rain waters it. The sun shines on it and the rain waters it. It has many leaves. It grows taller and taller. It is taller than the people. It is taller than the trees. It is taller than the houses. And now a flower grows on it. People come from far and near to look at this flower. It is the tallest flower they have ever seen. It is a giant flower. I mean, it's huge. It's like twice the size of the house and the trees. Wow. All summer long, the birds and bees and butterflies come visiting. They have never seen such a big and beautiful flower. And now it is autumn again. The days grow shorter, the nights grow colder, cooler, and the wind carries yellow and red leaves past the flower. Some petals drop from the giant flower and they sail along with the bright leaves over the land and down to the ground. Oh. The wind blows harder. The flower has lost almost all its petals. It sways and bends away from the wind, but the wind grows stronger and shakes the flower. Once more the wind shakes the flower, and this time the flower's seed pods open. Out come many tiny seeds that quickly sail far away on the wind. Oh, that's the end. That's the end. So, the seed, it's autumn. The seed gets taken by the wind through the whole land, the sun and the snow, over water, over deserts. Goodness, it goes a really long way, and it survives the bird. It survives winter, so autumn, winter, starts to grow in spring, survives the giant foot that came out of nowhere, survives the lovely little boy that planted him as a gift for a friend, survives spring, survives summer. Well, it doesn't survive spring or summer, it grows in spring, it just enjoys the land in summer, doesn't it? Spends the whole of summer being admired and loved. And then it gets cold and the wind starts blowing again because we're in autumn. And that seed that became a magnificent flower, whoopsie, I can't turn the page. The tiny seed, the tiniest seed of all became the biggest, prettiest, most wonderful flower. And then it became a seed again and sent off lots and lots and lots of seeds out into the world, to become many, many, many flowers. How amazing is that? One teeny tiny seed can become a giant flower, and that flower produces lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of seeds. So that seed can become loads of flowers if it gets the chance to grow. Oh, that's a lovely book. Lots of words, and obviously I got sidetracked a few times, so sorry about that, kids. Oh my word, this is a 16-minute video. I'm really sorry. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm so pleased that you joined me for these videos. And you take care now, kids. Bye.